up? It's me, Katherine, and welcome back to my channel. Apparently, I'm Captain Morganing the bed right now. I got some musical recommendations for you. We are off to a chaotic start. Today's video is also brought to you in part by Audible, so huge thank you to Audible for making this video possible. This video is basically a part 2 to a video I did about 6 months ago. The concept is that I recommend some musicals, but they're not terribly obscure. In fact, most of the musicals in this video are probably pretty well known, but they're not mega popular. We're not talking about Hamilton, Dear Evan Hansen, Beetlejuice, Heathers, Six, basically anything that you'd find on TikTok. And we're also not talking about super long running shows like Phantom of the Opera, The Lion King, Chicago, anything like that. We're talking about very upper medium level of popularity musicals that I think are good, and if you're newer to musical theater and you want some listening recommendations, these are for you. Or maybe you're not new to musicals and you just haven't checked them out. Both are good. If you need some more musicals to check out, I'll leave part 1 and some other listening recommendation-esque videos in the description box down below. Question of the day, what musicals are you currently obsessed with? Let me know in the comments down below. What should everyone give a listen? Also, wait, I just realized I didn't do an intro. Hi, my name is Kat. I really like musicals. Hit subscribe if you want to be in a cult. Is that what my intro is usually? Something like that. Oh, this is gonna be really chaotic. Let's jump on into the video. Come From Away is one of those rare musicals that can make you laugh out loud, ugly cry, and restore your faith in humanity all in one act. It tells the story of Gander, New Finland, a teeny tiny town that welcomes over 7,000 stranded passengers in the wake of the September 11th terrorist attacks. While the world is aching and terrified, the citizens of Gander open their arms up and they welcome these strangers into their homes, into their schools. They meet them at the airport with lunch and a hug. If you get a chance to see Come From Away, you need to see it. It's one of those that by the end, you are just cheering and clapping for everyone. I'm 2 seconds into thinking about Come From Away and now I'm crying. What else is new? From an artistic standpoint, something that's really neat is that the cast is actually quite small and they all double up as roles. They all play characters that are basically composites of real people who were living in Gander or who came in on one of the 38 planes. Even though it's a ton of characters in this show, it's played by a very small cast to kind of signify the unity of humankind. This show has actually been running on Broadway for a few years now, but I feel like it doesn't get the hype it deserves. The people who know it absolutely love it, but I feel like it's not a super flashy title and people really only know the depressing premise part of it, but that's really not what the show is about at all. It's really about healing and friendship and the capacity for human goodness in a time of tragedy. It is so beautiful, it is heartwarming. If you're kind of freaking out during this time, I'd really highly recommend listening to Come From Away. Next to Normal tells the story of the suburban Goodman family and the matriarch Diana's journey with mental illness. It sports a critically acclaimed pop contemporary score, and it's one of the few musicals to ever win the highly esteemed Pulitzer Prize for drama. And the show covers just about every topic. First love, loss, grief, addiction, family. I think what I really love about Next to Normal is the storytelling, the acting, the character development. The music is fantastic, but it's the lyrics and the performances of that music that really put Next to Normal on the list. I remember when Next to Normal first came out, it was super popular first off, like it was a cultural reset, as the kids say. But like one of the big deals is that Aaron Tveit was doing so much like athletic movement jumping around the scaffolding set that he would rehearse on the treadmill. It's the same thing that Beyonce does. Anywho, if you love like independent family dramas, Next to Normal is for you. Hunchback of Notre Dame has one of the best cast albums. If you love Disney, but you love kind of a more classic, even gothic sound, this show is for you. Based, of course, on the novel and the Disney film of the same name, Hunchback of Notre Dame follows the story of Quasimodo. I don't know why I'm giving you a synopsis of Hunchback because you definitely know it. But this is Disney theatricals like you've never seen it before because it's technically not Disney theatricals. You've got some real thematic depth. The score is so luscious. And this cast is ridiculous. Michael Arden as Quasimodo. My Hadestown stands, you got some Patrick Page as Dom Claude Frollo. Big Fish and Frozen, Ciara Renee as Esmeralda. Yes, please. Ragtime is a musical I absolutely adore. I know I've mentioned it in passing, but I'm not sure I've ever really discussed it at length. But Ragtime has got to be in my top 5 best cast albums of all time. It's an ensemble piece that follows a large cast of characters kind of divided into 3 different groups. You've got the rich white family, you've got the young black musician couple, and then you've got a struggling immigrant and his young daughter. Their lives seemingly interweave with each other in the strangest and most fantastical ways. And I think what's so poignant and heartbreaking about this show is how relatable it is today. It's both relatable and deeply disappointing that we haven't moved further as a society. It's just a fantastic show. I'm ready for a revival yesterday. Specifically starring Josh Groban as Tate and Haley Kilgore as Sarah. Putting that out into the universe yet again after I tweeted it and Josh Groban liked it. Conspiracy theory. The music of Ragtime is just so sweeping. It's also a show that I feel like you can really follow the narrative and you get a full story just by listening to the album. Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder is such a unique show. Definitely not a lot of modern operatic comedies. Imagine something that sounds like a modern equivalent to Gilbert and Sullivan but has the comedy of Spamalot. Impoverished bachelor Monty Navarro discovers that he's in line to receive the Dysquith family fortune. The only thing standing between Monty, a large sum of money, and the girl of his dreams are 12 relatives that don't know he exists. If you love singing classical, legit music and you find it really difficult to find comedic audition pieces, Gentleman's Guide is a gold mine. Gentleman's Guide is just one of those shows that consistently makes me laugh out loud and I want to sing it in the shower. Or at a recital hall in like a fancy gown. Very versatile. I think Evita is severely underrated. It's one of those shows that you know, but you don't really know, you know? I feel like a lot of people have heard the title of Evita and they know Don't Cry For Me Argentina, but that's about it. It follows the real-life story of polarizing political figure Eva Perón. The show follows her from the time that she's a teenager to the time of her death. But I think what's really interesting is that it's not told from her point of view. We have an outside narrator. He's not a fan. You do get two very different sides of the same story. If you're newer to the music of Andrew Lloyd Webber, I'd really recommend checking this out. It really has more of a Jesus Christ Superstar kind of sound than, let's say, Phantom of the Opera. Hair is a musical that I could talk about for hours on end. In fact, I actually included it in my original recommendations video, but it had to be cut for time because I talked about Hair for hours on end. Hair is widely regarded as the first rock musical ever, and its music went on to be a chart-topping sensation. The actual music of Hair is so insanely fun, it's ridiculous. It's great workout music, it's great music to put on if you're gonna clean out your closet, if you're going to make dinner, if you just want to dance around your room and pretend you're a hippie. The actual narrative of the show is a little loose, but it follows an ensemble cast of hippies during the Vietnam War. You meet the individual members of the tribe, including our protagonist, Claude, a young man who finds himself drafted into a war he doesn't believe in. But more than that, it's one of those shows that you can analyze through so many different lenses. Like, did you guys ever have that assignment in high school where you had to read Lord of the Flies and then you chose a lens, whether it be Freudian or religion or feminism, and you analyze the story through that lens and it works? That's kind of how I view Hair. I think the religious undertones in Hair are so under-discussed. Maybe it's just my little Sunday school brain working too hard. I think a lot of people just kind of get wrapped up with the idea of Hair because they only know it for a handful of songs or one scene, the naked scene. But Hair is so much more than just hippies and butts. If you've never listened to Hair, I would recommend starting out with the revival cast recording starring Gavin Creel, Casey Levy, Will Swenson. Such a good show. And now I will recommend another favorite. Audible. Audible is the top provider of spoken word entertainment and audiobooks. They've got everything ranging from celebrity memoirs to fiction to self-development and more. Every month, members get 1 credit to select any title, plus they get daily access to digests like the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times. They also have guided meditation programs, theatrical performances, podcasts, A-list comedies, and Audible originals that you can't find anywhere else. And right now, while we're all socially distancing, Audible brought their A game. Right now, members can download all Audible original monthly selections rather than just 2 of them. Members also have unlimited access to guided wellness programs that can help you wind down during this crazy time. They even just launched stories.audible.com, a special site where anyone, anywhere can stream hundreds of titles completely free, no strings attached. With Audible, you can download titles and listen to them offline anytime, anywhere. The app is free and you can install it on your tablet or smartphone. And if you can't decide decide what you'd like to listen to, don't worry, your credits roll over and you can keep them for a whole year. I am so pumped to start The Help by Katherine. I love this novel and it's been years since I've read it. The first time I ever read The Help was actually on set of my first screen gig. I'd read it between setups. Fun fact. But according to all the reviews on Audible, it's a completely different experience listening to it than reading it because it's performed by a full cast, including Academy Award winner Octavia Spencer, who played Minnie in the movie of The Help. I can't wait to enjoy this book, but now in a completely brand new way, thanks to Audible. You can get 30 days of Audible for free when you visit audible.com/Katherine Steele or text Katherine Steele to 500-500. Again, that's 30 days of Audible for free at audible.com/Katherine Steele or just by texting Katherine Steele to 500-500. Huge thank you to Audible for sponsoring this portion of the video. Again, let me know your listening recommendations in the comments down below. If you're new here, hit subscribe. Join the musical theater internet cult. We'd love to have you. If you want to hang out some more, check out my vlog channel. I hope you guys are having a great day. I love you so much. Break a leg, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!